Hey everybody, it's Pastor Jeff, and I'm reaching out to remind those of you that were in church on Sunday and to announce to those of you who were not in church on Sunday that this Saturday night we'll be sharing our advanced individual training at the Kent Island Public Library from 5 o'clock until probably between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. And I want to encourage each and every one of you that consider the Bridge your faith family and your home to come out. Now, you'll see before I'm done here that I'm looking for you to do some homework before you come on Saturday. Let me explain. As I shared on Sunday, we're going to be focusing on helping each one of us identify who it is that God has called and created us to be. Literally, to better understand how we were fearfully and wonderfully made. We're going to look closely at who God has basically called us to be through four aspects of our lives. Number one, through the personality or the hard wiring that He has put in each one of us. Secondly, through uncovering and better understanding our spiritual giftedness, those supernatural gifts that He has put in us in conjunction with the residence of His Spirit in us. Thirdly, we're going to take a look at our leadership traits. And you may say, well, I'm not a leader. Well, think of it this way. It's more in line with how we tend to interact with one another. And then fourthly, we will be looking at our skill set, those things that have been a part of our past or our personal development. And by looking at all four of those and seeing them through the prism and the perspective of ministry and a biblical perspective, it will better help us to understand the fit that God has for us and our faith family. And so I want to encourage you to prayerfully attend on Saturday and now prayerfully prepare for Saturday, and by the way, prepare for all of life, by going to our website. The tool that we have created and have made available to the church family is found on our website, www.hisbridge.com. And if, when you go to our website, across the top on the home page, you'll see a link that says Resources. If you'll click on the resource link at the top of the page, you'll find yourself then on a new page that has along the right-hand side a column of additional links. About 2/3 of the way down that list, you'll see another link, and it will say Spiritual Gifts Assessment or Spiritual Gifts Inventory. I want you to click on that. That will bring you to the doorway of this assessment tool. We have partnered with a company called AssessMe, and it is a ministry-based personal assessment tool that this company has generated. And what you'll be led to do is first log in, create an account. You'll see that the Bridge has its own portal. So when it says register or sign in, you'll be asked when you click on that to put your name, your address, your personal contact information, so that we'll have record of all of us in the family and what our giftedness and what our personalities and our leadership traits and our skill sets are. And then you'll be asked to sign back in. You'll create your own sign in. Then you'll create your own password. So this is all protected. And then you'll be asked to look at these four categories: your personality, your spiritual gifts, your leadership tendencies, and your skill set. When you click on, and I would recommend starting with the personality, click on it, you'll be brought to, I think, 75 or 80 questions. If you've ever done an assessment like this, you'll be familiar with it. It's kind of like, okay, do you strongly agree or strongly disagree with this statement? Are you, for example, more apt to be comfortable in this setting or that setting? There are those types of questions. And you'll have a personality test to go through. You'll have a spiritual gifts test or list of questions to go through. You'll have another one for the leadership aspect. And then finally, the skill set is really nothing more than a blank sheet of paper that says, list for us those things that you have done or accomplished or skills that you have developed that wouldn't show up in the other types of testing or questions. For example, perhaps you speak a second language. Please put that in your skill set. That's unique to you. Maybe you've had experience with starting a ministry. Please list that. Maybe you've been active in another country or have a particular professional skill. Maybe you're an engineer or a school teacher. That would be the place to list these things. In the end, what we'll end up with is a tool, and Kim and I have gone through this, and I'll tell you, it's amazing how right on it is, and at the same time how insightful it is. You'll see when we're done, when you've finished, you'll have about a 10 to 12 page printout, if you'd like it, that will help you understand the nuances of who it is that God's created you to be. On Saturday night, we'll talk about the value of this, and then we'll also talk about the mechanics and the interaction of this. If somebody's had some trouble with doing it, we'll certainly walk through that as well. But I'd like to spend the bulk of our time understanding and focusing on the value of understanding or getting to know who it is that God has called us to be individually and then collectively. And we'll do some cross-pollinating. So, who are you? What did you learn from this process? How might what you've gleaned from this revelation help impact your walk moving forward? How do we see God putting us together? I'll give you one example and then I'll leave you for today. In the leadership category, there's a number of different types of leadership personalities. And I found that one of the areas that I am strong in, but also weak in, is complemented perfectly by Pastor Mike. Where I have strengths and where those are being applied, it leaves an area where I have a need or where a teammate would certainly help strengthen our team and strengthen my ministry. Well, no doubt most of you have already noticed Pastor Mike has such an incredible gifting and skill set and wiring from God. I've often been in awe of him and so appreciative. Well, having gone through this process, I now also see how it is and why it is that God has put Pastor Mike and me together. He covers my flank, if you will. My weakness is his strength. And it's a perfect picture of God knitting the quilt together, not just in leadership, but in the family of God. And I think we'll see more of that as we come together on Saturday night. So if you would, let me know if you have any trouble getting through this process. I really look forward to seeing you on Saturday. I'm excited because we are all going to be equipped to take that next step, to step up, if you will, and answer God's call on our life.